Okay, so the fourth and final set for Gods Unchained Champions Rise is called Light's Verdict. It is the epilogue of the story so far, and today we're going to cover everything about it. The Gods Unchained team experimented with the release of this set, and it has had quite the feedback. Hello everyone, I am the Outlaw, and today I'll be your guide for navigating the complete timeline of the Light's Verdict set. But to start this lesson, we need to know what is Light's Verdict, and where does it belong amongst the other sets? So basically our timeline looks like this. The first set, the Genesis set, consists of 377 cards. The idea was simple. For a period of time, these cards can be changed and balanced. However, after a certain amount of time, they're locked. No more changes. Also, as more sets come and go through rotation, this set will always stay in play. Understand? Good. Okay, first some background and context. So in the beginning, the expansion was called Season 1 Champions Rise. It has a total of 3 sets. The first set was called Trial of the Gods. A full 150 new cards were added to the game. For this set, the sale of packs of cards lasted from September 9th, 2020 to May 4th, 2021. So about 8 months. The balancing phase lasted from launch to March 25th, 2021. About 6 months, maybe 7. Don't worry about memorizing these dates and timeframes. These dates and timeframes are just to help get some perspective. The next expansion was called Divine Order. It had a total of 194 cards. Pack sales began on September 27, 2021 and lasted until May 19th, 2022. About 7 months. The balance phase lasted from launch to May 31st. Yes, it continued until after pack sales. So, also about 7 months. The last expansion was called Mortal Judgment. It came with a total of 197 cards. This was confirmed in a post to be the last expansion in the set. Sales began on April 19, 2022. As of November 2022, these packs are still for sale, and the balancing phase is still underway. Yes, I know, about 7 months ongoing. But wait, where does Light's Verdict fit in all this? This is where some things get kind of fuzzy. Light's Verdict was first mentioned by Bathalix on September 7, 2022, as a limited edition drop that was happening sometime in September. If we click on the link, we're led to this article. In it, one paragraph goes into detail about the set. Here it states that's not a new set, but the epilogue to the Mortal Judgment set, so like a subset. To my knowledge, this is a first. There have been quite a few promotional sets in the past, but never a subset. Make sense? I guess. And here is the first mention of sales caps, mint limits, and time-bound constraints. It was here where the Gods Unchained team would implement new ideas and describe the distribution of the set as an experiment. September 19th, the content manager officially announces Light Verdict sales will begin on September 28th. September 22nd, the cards are finally revealed, and boy do they look strong. While there was a lot of concern about the power scaling for a lot of these cards, one card in particular was given the most attention. The Divine Coronet. Articles were made on the theoretical combo that could be achieved on turn 4. Scary stuff, but most people didn't panic because they believed these cards would get nerfed fairly quickly. In fact, it's fairly common for every new set to have some sort of overpowered cards at their release, and in the following months they get balanced. One of my favorite cards includes Rolling Thunder from the Divine Order set. Take a look. Yeah, that lasted for about a week before it got nerfed. September 23rd, the buyer's guide is officially released. And here is where things start to get a little complicated. Instead of dropping the cards in Mortal Judgment packs that are already on sale, the decision is made to give them their own packs. They're called Mortal Judgment Light's Verdict packs. However, they give the exact same cards as Moral Judgment packs, the only difference being there is a percentage that a 6th card, a Light's Verdict card, will appear in the pack. And honestly, these percentages look kind of low, but we'll get to that later. Plus, unintended consequences will arise later. Also, something I find kind of interesting is not getting different Light's Verdict cards from different levels of packs. For example, if you open a common Mortal Judgment pack, there is still a chance of getting a legendary Mortal Judgment card. Albeit a very small chance, but there's still a chance. In Light's Verdict, the cards didn't cross. Legendary cards will be stuck to legendary packs, and epic cards will be stuck to their epic packs. Okay? Now remember earlier when they said they would experiment with limited sales and limited sales time? Well, they decided to do both. The sale will only last 2 weeks, and these are the number of packs limited for sale. Some people liked this idea, others didn't. It is what it is. The second most important part of the buyer's guide includes the trinket. If you don't know, this is a trinket. It is a purely cosmetic item that has no impact on the game. The trinket that is being offered here is Lysander Spear. Oh yeah, I had to use the Wayback Machine to get this information because this blog post was updated later on and it was really hard to find after that. Anyway, there are 4 levels to this trinket. Level 1. Lysander Spear Trinket. Eligibility: acquire a complete set of 12 Light's Verdict cards of any shine quality to receive Lysander Spear. Basically, get a set in Meteorite and you'll get the trinket. Level 2. Acquire a complete set of 12 Light's Verdict cards in Shadow quality or higher. Level 3. Acquire a complete set of 12 Light's Verdict cards in Gold quality. And Level 4. Get a complete set in Diamond quality. And that pretty much concludes the buyer's guide. So let's keep moving. September 28th, pack sales go live. And here's some gameplay with the original cards that were released.
Oh my god. This is so gross. Turn 4. Divine Coronet number 1. Ooh, Poly is cool. Divine Coronet number 2. Avatar of Magic's fun. Divine Coronet number 3. Volca? 1616 seems cooler.
So this deck is decent in control. It's not bad. Pretty fun. Pretty good game here. We're beating aggro, we're beating control. Feels very good. We like this deck a lot.
We're back in the game with a blade here. It's fine. Okay, if he kills this, we get another one because our martyr is in the void. He probably doesn't even know. Probably should play that. Dude, my cat is outside the door. Meowing. He did not know. He did not know. The cat in? No. No. It's the white cat. Which means it would give its hair everywhere. And I'll lose frames. We're back. We won. This guy had a god start too, still couldn't win. But I can't beat Olympian War, like, what? Yeah, the Martyr play is sneaky. You'll have to start looking out for it actually. Because it's too good.
October 4th. Shiny legendary packs are officially sold out. Normally, these packs aren't really bought because players are only trying to get the cards, but with the Trinket Award being based on how shiny the cards are, players are trying their best to get as many cards at the highest rarity possible. Most were aiming for the Diamond Therial. October 11th, an announcement that surprised pretty much everybody. No hard nerfs, and most surprisingly of all, no more balance updates after this. Despite needing months to balance other sets, as well as not finishing the balance on Mortal Judgment set, which this is supposed to be a subset of, the balance team decided that after less than 2 weeks and only one balance patch, they thought they had everything figured out and didn't need any more time to go ahead and lock the set. Right. With this announcement, 5 nerfs were introduced, but only 3 actually matter. The first one, the Divine Coronet. No surprise, but the Divine Coronet did get nerfed. Now, I'm not quite sure what they mean by this line right here. This card performed as expected in most decks, but found most success in Magic combo decks. If they mean the Divine Coronet was completely unplayable in every deck except combo Magic, then yes, I guess it did perform as expected. So what was the result of this nerf? Well, after the increase in mana cost, the Coronet combo was too slow and no longer viable. So now it's not played in any decks anymore. The second change was for Pyrrhic Knowledge. Notice how I said change and not nerf. It basically increased the limit cost of a spell you can bring back from the Void to 7 mana. I mean, this didn't do much. Most players were using this to bring back Unbound Flames or Worm Breath. I mean, even the meme OTK decks that relied on this card were 7 mana. So what was the end result? No change. Like at all. Well, it did cause the price to increase, but then again, that may have been more due to the announcement of the card being locked. The third and final change was to the Blade of White Plains. The stats were lowered from 4-4 to 3-3. One of the biggest issues with this card was the destroy and draw factor. For example, if someone drops a 3-5 Guild Enforcer with armor, a Blade of White Plain can destroy it and draw you a card. That's ridiculous. That's removal, board presence, and draw all in one turn. At least with this nerf, the idea is the draw will be limited. So what was the result of this nerf? This card is included in every deck. That is the result. In fact, if we check Week and Ranked, taking a look at the top spots, everyone runs them. So to be competitive, you need to have this card in your deck. Also, this is a neutral card, so you can play this with any god. That just helps with its versatility. October 12th, an announcement is made declaring the change in requirements for getting the trinket. Remember how previously you had to get all diamond cards to get the highest trinket? Well, now that's been reduced. You only need to have everything in gold now. As you know, gold cards are a lot easier to get, and pack sales stop after 2 weeks. Again, don't worry, we'll talk about this later. Moving on. Also October 12th, the sale of Light's Verdict packs are now closed. October 19th, the snapshot for people to receive the trinket. Your wallet will be checked to see what tier of trinket you get for all the Light's Verdict cards you own. And that concludes our timeline for Light's Verdict. So, how do you think it was received? Well, let's find out.
It's very depressing. With Light's Verdict, they made the pay-to-win aspect so strong that, like, before I at least could argue, well, no, okay, yes, it's pay-to-win if you want to play, like, specific types of decks. Like, if you want to play, like, a Control War deck, yes, it's pay-to-win, because you can't play, like, Control War or, like, most Control decks. Some Control decks you still could play, though. Not many. Maybe, like, Control Deception you could play, you know, like a cheap version. Or Control Magic you could play a cheap version. But, like, yeah, some you definitely can't. But it's like, but you could argue, okay, the game's not pay to win. There are some, you know, there are some decks that you could still play. And, like, aggro, of course you could play. With LV, they have now made it so insane. Like, if you don't have 2 blades in your deck, like, what are you even doing? Like, get out of here. You're not going to win.
Just another cash grab. The average price of a legendary card is $6.57, and to buy the pack costs around $20 to $25.
Car guess. I understand your frustration, but let's tone it down a bit, Ed.
Fine, but only because I like you. As for the others, as someone who has been a part of this game for 2+ years, I think the marketing team is disillusioned by the LV set. This sample size of one gives no real evidence about how successful the next mini set will be, just like we saw a massive difference between Divine Order and Mortal Judgment. We realized after the mass printing of Divine Order that MJ cards were not worth holding onto, nor really worth buying packs. It was best to buy off the marketplace or peer-to-peer. The mini-sets rub me the wrong way, not to mention LV will likely be rotated out with Trial of the Gods expansion set. This feels like a massive cash grab and a minuscule amount of new content. Sure, it worked once, but heed my warning, this new mini-set BS will kill the game and fail long-term.
You have the tools immediately, otherwise you lose. Of the balancing phase for Light's Verdict being only 2 weeks. I guess you know the answer, right? It can't be a good one. It can't be okay. It can't be okay. Look at the cards. It can't be okay. They didn't even finish, in my opinion, they didn't even finish to balance the... Is it Mortal Judgment set?
Cosmic Shift. Now, I know I haven't really mentioned Cosmic Shift because honestly, I'm still not too sure what it was. But basically, during a certain time frame, the GU team was buying certain cards for a certain price on the secondary market. When I first heard of this, I thought the idea was actually kind of nice. There was a huge oversupply of a lot of Divine Order cards and Mortal Judgment cards. And they did buy some of those oversupplied cards. So what's the problem? It's right here. They also decided to buy some of the Light's Verdict cards. And they did it during the time people were trying to get the trinket. Also, they bought some of the most valuable cards, causing these in high demand cards to become even more expensive. I know the GU team will probably give out these valuable cards as rewards for future tournaments or giveaways or something, but in my opinion, they should have just waited until after the Lysander Spear trinket screenshot was taken. It's a simple solution. So remember how I said we'll revisit how the team decided to put the Light's Verdict cards into Mortal Judgment packs? Well, these percentages are very low. I've heard a lot of people grumbling about opening 5 or 6 packs and not getting anything. That just feels bad. It's kind of like those small percentage gambling machines. You only have like a 10% chance of getting anything for each pack. But maybe you want to hear something a little more concrete. And it's something else I don't really see people talking about too much. Do you notice anything in this graph? During the pack sales, a lot of people were trying to get Therial, so a lot of Mortal Judgment legendary packs were opened. That means the market was flooded with a lot of these legendaries, causing a sharp crash in the price. Okay, that means they are much more affordable, right? Yes. However, there's an opposite side of the coin. The value of your rewards for weekend ranked events just crashed as well. If you're trying to expand your collection by selling, let's say, Dagon, you know, the most valuable Mortal Judgment card, your purchasing power is now a lot lower. For this one, I have mixed emotions. On one hand, Mortal Judgment is now cheaper to buy, but on the other hand, your value for weekend rank rewards are much lower. Let me know what you think about that. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. Oh, but Outlaw, you're just overreacting about everything. None of these issues are really that big. And maybe you're right. But I want you to take a look at something. The general vibe towards NFT and crypto games is still very poor. Look, check out the comment section of one of the YouTubers that the GU marketing team has chosen to sponsor. It's very negative towards our type of game. That's why the Gods Unchained team needs to be extra careful when making these types of decisions. So, Light's Verdict is the conclusion of Season 1. I hope everybody knows that. It was a bold and untested method for concluding a set. But the good intentions were there. The execution, not so great. Remember, this game is still in beta. Not to mention the team got shaken up a few months ago. So I think it's in everyone's best interest to give them at least some leeway. Besides, I'm excited for Season 2. which will probably come early next year. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy making these types of videos, even if they don't get the most views. Let me know if there are any more sets you want me to cover. I'm open to suggestions. But other than that, remember, new videos every week. Later.